Hey, I've got number 12 in the GymBed explorations. We're doing some variations of a spinal twist going from gentle to active. So I'm going to show you three variations and a sort of a lead in drill. So a couple of little points to make before I show you. The first is to keep in mind that if you are trying to follow along, most of these posts, I intentionally keep it to one drill or a maximum of 3 drills within the same category in order to prevent this tendency when you're trying to do a follow along in a class or a video setting where you're trying to listen, watch, do, feel, and keep up at the same time, which is really hard to do, which is why I personally prefer not to do class or video settings in which I am caught in that position. And when I work with somebody, I like to first show and tell, and then have them actually practice the pose so that I could give the one-on-one personal and tactile feedback, and to make sure that they understand what it is that is working and what it feels to be engaged and working in that body part and what should not be working. So this is what is incumbent upon you always to try to get better and better and better at, okay? So the worst thing you could do, especially in a position where you're trying to keep pace, okay, is where you are trying to just force your body into the same shape of somebody else. We have not only our differences in strength, mobility, and flexibility, our entire body shape is different. Everything from girth to height to the length of our limbs, our arms, our legs, our torso. We have anatomical restrictions. We have injury-related limitations. You may be diagnosed with a limitation, and you need to learn to understand what is the type of discomfort in which you understand this is a discomfort due to a new position, and I need to work through the progress of this strength or mobility or flexibility, or whether it's just not for you. So if you are working with a physical therapist or personal trainer, a chiropractor or something like that, where you've been able to get that specific feedback, great. But if not, then as I said, it is always incumbent upon you to get that mind-body engagement going. So I'm going to make a point here with the lead-in drill that I'm going to show for everyone. And as you may have noticed during all these different explorations month, I do have a suggested way to do the month, okay? Whether it's in progression or whether you could just pick and choose, or whether I do say just drop and follow along because it's not that difficult, okay? In this case, for this month, it's probably a good idea to watch first, because I do try to give a lot of verbal cues, since this is on camera. Okay, so the lead-in drill for the 3 variations is going to make a point in that the spinal twist that we're doing, the stretch or the twist or the mobility, is stemming from our lower back and our pelvis. So you'll have a little bit of a hip stretch. Where it's not stemming from is our mid back and our upper back. Okay, so I'm going to lead in with the shoulder stretch and engaging the upper back, so that we're doing the type of warm-up where we're going to engage the part during the warm-up that we're not going to use during the drill. Okay, so most of the time the warm-up is intended to warm up either the whole body or the parts that you're going to work, okay? But in this case, I'm making the point, we're going to warm up the part that we're not engaging, so that as we do the spinal twist variations, if you feel that it's your upper shoulder or your thoracic spine moving, then you need to reset. Okay, so the first drill is to take our fingers pointing back. So I'll show you from the side. And we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, which is going to help us bring our chest open. So our feet are on the flat on the bed with our knees up, and we're going to straighten those arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together, roll the shoulders back as much as you can, and just stay here. Okay, so you are going to not bring the chest open by sticking out the stomach. No, just the shoulder, not the belly. Okay. Now, if it's available to you, we're going to keep our feet planted, but scooch the bum toward the heel, just the bum. Okay. So now we have a different angle here in which we can extend through the chest even further and just stay here. Now this is the lead in. We're going to now just get down on the elbows. I'm going to turn around to show you. Okay, so in that same position, just get down on the elbow, and we're not going to sink down. We're going to engage through the elbow to keep the chest open while we take the bent knee and just gently, this is your first level of the spinal twist, gently just rotate those knees from side to side. So if you are doing this and you find yourself trying to force those knees, okay, what might happen is you'll end up coming off, or you'll over twist when you're not ready, okay, and start involving the mid back, which is not what we want. Okay, we just want to let the knees up to the hips rotate so you get a nice massage on lower back. The next level is to fully get down on your back. Now you're going to have to engage your abs slightly, press into the bed. You can keep your arms comfortable for you. And now from this position, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to let those knees passively fall from side to side. You'll feel slightly more rotation available to you with the weight of the hips. That could come off a little bit more. But again, it's stemming and staying at the lower back. Okay, so we're not twisting our entire body. We don't want that. Okay, we want our shoulders to stay down. We do not want our thoracic spine involved. And just gently keep the abs in. Exhale as you twist to the side. Okay. The final level progression is to take your pillow or cushion, whatever we have, and now we start getting much more active. Get some ab work in. We're going to take that pillow and squeeze it between the knees or between the thighs, and we'll open up our arms fully now. So now we don't have the hands to help stabilize us, okay? Our arms are out to the side, and we're going to engage the abs, tuck the pelvis up and under in order to bring the knees to 90. And from here, we're going to now rotate. Keep squeezing the pillow in between, okay? And again, you don't want to end up coming off or overstretching, all right? So keep that engaged and you'll get some nice ab work in as well. So however low you go here is based on, your own level. So if you could go all the way down, fine. If not, just stop, use your abs and the squeeze of your knees to bring yourself back. All right, so that was the 3 level. Now, afterwards, what feels really good is to go ahead this time and actually go ahead and rotate your entire body into a fetal position to the side. Okay, so now with this, you'll feel a nice hip stretch depending on your mobility, as your flexibility as I said, I'm pretty tight and inflexible. So you could just stay here. When you bring it to center, you can bring the knees together, but instead of forcing the knees up towards your chest, just use the weight of your interlaced fingers to weigh it down and lock the knee in place without forcing it, okay? And then go to the other side to finish off in a nice fetal position, okay? So you do get a little lower back stretch and a little hip stretch to the side. All right, so you've had the lead-in position, you've had the 3 variations for the gentle to active spinal twist, and then a nice finish. So you could do this in the morning or the evening in this case, right? So it's neither super dynamic, but it is a little bit active. But if you do just like the first 2 variations, it could be very relaxing for your wind down. All right, give it a go and enjoy.